the buff to Wave of Terror feels really impactful. Just that attack damage reduction, not base damage, total damage. So, you know, a lot of this damage coming through is going to be reduced even further. If you're able to get the swap off, even more damage reduction. It's kind of nuts. But I really don't feel like you're going to be enabled too much on this LC. And, well, makes me feel a little bit bad for poor old Xingxi.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he can perform as well. I feel like there's always, you know, you're in the TI qualifiers. Obviously, you fell up a little bit short when it comes down to qualifying via points. So it's always a, you know, let's wait and see how these players are going to be, especially in a qualifier like this. But you've got the opportunity. It is double elimination. So you do kind of have maybe your own meta that's going to be happening in these qualifiers. And that's usually started from the teams that have a life to lose, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I think early on, having this double chance is so effective because you might be able to tinker with something just with game one, right? Like you want to make sure that you're testing a few things that you've been trying out with scrims and all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you want to keep that double chance. I'm really expecting the second round of the upper bracket to be the real spicy one. You know,
yes.
If everything goes to plan, it'll be Azure Ray, Aster, Xtreme Gaming, and IG all going up against each other, which is, I mean, that's mouthwatering stuff.
It is definitely very exciting to potentially see. So right now you've already got Aster confirmed for that second round of the upper bracket, and we'll see who out of this one will be facing them, because Aster Xtreme Gaming sounds like a wild round 2 upper bracket matchup.
Mm-hmm. One of them being knocked down already. And then the other one would be, progressing forward to top 3 already, I believe, after that. Really starts to get down to the nitty-gritty pretty early on.
Yeah. Especially because if you're coming out of the upper bracket, you're skipping or at least a round each win, or another potential matchup each win. So definitely interesting to see how that'll play out. And we're taking a try look here at all 3 lanes. And right now, we'll see how it goes. It should be really, due to experience, I would say Xtreme favored, but for the moment, at least bottom, it's looking favored towards Aster.Aries, and well, Ghost kind of eating a little bit of damage as well, but that's always the Morphling thing. You think his life is low, he's just healing up, and you get scared, or I get scared to the point of going, ooh, top, and it's just him like healing.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I think this is going to be a really slow-paced early game for mine. I think both teams are happy enough just to be farming. The Legion Commander's not going to be able to get a lot of dual kills happening. And I feel like Xtreme are just wanting to delay this game out. They have a lot of faith in their Morphling to be able to counter the Gyro. And you've also got a Doom that's going to be playing a little bit more passively. The big thing that I'm going to be looking out for, we even see, just speaking of that Doom, we've got a Ring of Health and a Vitality booster queued up, so an early Vanguard for the Doom. A lot of them go for like maybe just the Ring of Health and look to rush into the Midas, but I think JT's saying, you know what, as long as I'm alive, it doesn't really matter. Like I just need to make sure that I'm keeping up with levels, I'm getting a lot of those Devours off, and you know, maybe after the Vanguard I can make the progression into the Hand of Midas.
So does Doom still feel as good though? Like other than really the biggest change is the fact that Doom no longer mutes. Like, is he still just that tanky offlaner that you enjoy having some of these auras on?
I think so. I mean, I still like the Doom just because of you are going to be able to lock down someone like the Gyrocopter. Yes, if you get the Aghanim Scepter, it's not quite so bad just because you've always got the side gunner running, but you're still going to lock out the flak cannon, for example, which is a really big deal to be able to take away from the enemy team. But my big thing is Doom also makes the target unable to be healed as well. So I'm keen to see if they look to, you know, be aware of that. I mean, you've got a Legion Commander with the Press the Attack, you've got a Phoenix with the Sunray. Are they going to try and just heal up whichever Doom target it is, or have they, you know, taken note of some of the changes in the patch?
You know, I really feel, as an Ancient Apparition hero, main, really hurts my feelings when somebody just gets to be better at the job you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only change you get is to Ice Vortex. Please, Ice Frog, for the love of God, make Ancient Apparition good. I still play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. You gotta play your fun heroes.
I love my hero.
Spammer.
Yeah,
it hasn't been in the greatest spot right now, but a little bit of buffs creeping in every now and then. I like it.
I like
Revenant's Brooch Wyvern. steal that magic damage during the curse.
I'd be down to try that. I'm definitely interested. If you want to play Ancient Apparition, just buy a Spirit Vessel and or play Doom. So, you know, do your thing. You don't have to pick that hero.
Nope.
But if you want to, go for it. So, like you said, quiet. This is sometimes what we see in the Chinese region, which is this late 7-minute first blood. But China, for a couple of years, got very aggressive, and I think that's when they were finding the most success, and that was really led by what LGD was doing at the time.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the thing that, to me, for China, that's always stood out the most is just their ability to team fight is above a lot of other regions. Like, that is their big strength. They're able to out-team fight a lot of opposition. And the thing is, these drafts don't necessarily lend to that, right? There's not a huge amount of like AoE team fight action happening where they're just going to be able to combo their spells together perfectly. Maybe a little stronger on Aster.Aries' side, but certainly
Shanxi, they're going.
Yeah.
They wanted to go on to this Legion, but a good boulder smash landing from Mercy, aka Mian Mian. Used to play for Magma.
I love that he got a few more of these chances, right? Like, I really rate Mercy. I think his Shadow Shaman is really solid as well. So I think we might even see a few of those respect bans start to come through from that. But look at DY. Like, previously, in terms of trading, you had like Undying and Rubik are at the very top just because of Decay and the damage reduction from Fade Bolt. But now you can actually add Venge into the mix as well.
Interesting little shot there, but the magic missile, and that'll just give DY straight up first blood. All right, while you're talking about exactly what he's doing, he gets it to go for a first blood, and it's always nice. When you're in position 5, you can grab yourself first blood, maybe an early pair of boots, and that helps you kind of maneuver around, stay aggressive, and make these heroes uncomfortable, because we have seen, really, Shanxi he's got some CS, he's got more than the Doom, but the way him and the Earth Spirit have been playing, it feels a little bit uncomfortable.
This was the thing I was talking about, right, with those double melee offlaners. It just feels so awkward, right, that something like, you know, I was mentioning a Clockwork potentially, but something like a Vengeful Spirit is going to have a good time. Yeah, good luck killing this DK. Oh, he gets clipped by the arrow, so won't actually be able to convert much of this Elder Dragon form. Looks like XM might be trying to shove the wave out quickly.
Dragon Tail comes through, but
he'll be fine.
That boulder smash does kind of hurt. But yeah, he really should be fine there, unless they want to really dive the tier 1 tower. That is a dangerous play for sure. And
nice little pull there.
Looking at DY. Yeah, DY is going to be hit with the roll coming in from Mercy. Now he gets into the trees. The boulder smash comes and hits on XM as well as DY. 2 letters in your name is, well, being the magnet for being unsafe in this mid lane at the moment.
Nice little rotation from Xingqiu, making sure to take out that siege creep, but a lot of the damage has already been done to this tower. I was saying previously that the corrosive breath of the Elder Dragon form wasn't going to be all that effective because they were able to land that arrow previously, but you still did a healthy amount of damage onto this tier 1 tower. It's exactly what you want out of the DK. I mean, it feels so ineffective on heroes like the DK and the Death Prophet that rely on their ultimates for tower pushing if you just get no value out of it, but he absolutely has.
Was able to survive, was able to get that pressure on, and Elder Dragon forms up off cooldown in 20 seconds, so you're right back into it, and I think that tower is done for, and I think XM kind of knows it, which is going to make his game a little bit uncomfortable. By a little bit, I mean a lot.
For mine is like, is he going to try and shove out lanes a little bit more? But again, like, the DK really doesn't care. He's just so tanky. He's able to stand right in front of the tower. Yep.
Hit with that arrow and killed off. So good move from Xingqiu. He's been moving around pretty successfully. They've got the double stun with the magic missile following it up, and now they drop the Dream Coil down to the Dragon Knight, but they get the Doom out too. Mercy's here, but there's the Hurricane to pull him back, and they've got the Doom on him, which should tick him out. They'll get the kill on XWY. They look over at Mercy. They've got themselves 2, and that's a good rotation from JT to come in and, you know, especially use that Hurricane, because I believe the move was to try and get the Earth Spirit to help this DK out, but that's not happening when you've got the pull of the Hurricane.
So one of the other things as well is that I wasn't actually 100% sure about it until we just saw it happen. JT dropping the Doom onto the Dragon Knight. Most of the time you're like, well, we don't really want to do that because they're able to just, you know, heal up with their Dragon's Blood regen. But it's not just healing, I guess. It's health regen as well that gets disabled by the Doom. So even though it says makes the target unable to be healed, regeneration counts as well.
That really feels bad when it's a heavy reliability here for the DK.
Deep dive here.
Yeah, they can't get the arrow with the creeps in the way, but they've got the blood grenade and the waveform forward and an adaptive strike kill on a Shanxi. And despite the fact the CS was going well and that XWI had a 1K lead and still kind of has a massive lead over the puck, it's Xtreme Gaming who are doing the damage with these kills.
Trying to get
roll in, boulder smash.
Sidestep.
Good geomagnetic grip to get the silence on a DY, but the magic missile comes out after. Ghost is going to have himself at least a trade to get the kill on a Mercy after they take out DY. And now another kill on a Red Panda. Ghost has a double. And XWI trying to at least get Jinkyu, but with the leap, he has the distance to get away from the DK.
So it's a little like contradictory, right? Like these teams don't exactly have the greatest early game potential, but that means that any sort of attempt onto a tower, like the one we saw previously in mid lane, is going to be heavily responded to. They made sure to get rid of the siege creep in mid, and they made sure to get rid of the siege creep in top. There were 3 heroes tanking up the tower just to make sure that the siege was able to survive, and it's going to let them maintain this tier 1 tower. Again, this is a farming game. You're going to be farming as much as possible on Ulu, you're going to be farming as much as possible on Ghost. And the thing is, losing towers really prevents your ability to do that. So there's a lot of attention being given over to those farm protecting towers, let's call them.
And we'll see if they can hold on to them for much longer. The tier 1 did drop over mid, so that's gone for the side of Xtreme Gaming, but it's really not stopping Ghost from feeling safe up here towards top, and JT's just stationed down here bottom waiting to get his hands on that Midas.
Ghost is having, again, such a solid time. Morphling, of course, probably his best hero.
Farmed.
Yeah, he's incredibly farmed, and Morphling is one of those heroes that really does take advantage of the Mighty Minds change, where now instead of 4 HP per second, you get 7 if you're just standing around the north side of the tier 2 top tower. So he hasn't needed to leave the lane just yet, but even if he is forced back to that sort of position, Morphling doesn't really rely on his mana too much to be able to farm. He can just stand there and right-click.
So they're going to smoke and look to make the roll and get this kill. We've got XWI, good kick into the Dragon Tail. There's the call down from Ulu. The chase is on to get this kill on a JT. He is quite tanky and finally falls as the Icarus dive passes over him and they get the kill onto the Doom, but it takes a lot just to get that kill. And I believe, unfortunately, that happens with Midas already purchased, so it's not really slowing that down too much. Arrow comes in, and a stationary Shanxi is going to die as he was trying to hide in the trees, but they have the vision. They'll get the kill.
Man, I've really been impressed by Xinkyu. Yes, he's been playing around DY a fair amount, but I was really expecting more points in the Starstorm and less in the Sacred Arrow, just because it is incredibly hard for them to be able to confirm a lot of these kills. Magic Missile doesn't have the longest cast range, and Puck, Dream Call, for all that it does, you're still able to move around during it. So I was thinking that they just don't have the amount of lockdown needed to be able to truly give him value, but I haven't seen a single missed arrow from Xinkyu so far.
I don't know if we have percentages available, but every time I do this, every time I ask if we've got percentages available, I'm always hyping somebody up like there'll be a pudge in the game. And I'm like, you said every hook. And then it's just like 25% or something stupid like that. I'm just like, come on, guys. I mean, hooks aimed at heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, they're praying for your downfall. That's all it is.
Aren't they all? Gosh. It's Ghost having a really good game on this Morphling. I'm always concerned about Chinese Morphlings. Thanks, Fly. Appreciate that.
Don't have to call the man out by name.
Sorry, he is catching strays a little bit, as he normally does.
Yeah.
So there's no clockwork in this game, so there's no rocket flare to kill Ghost full shifted Agi.
True.
Which is always nice. 19. That means so. Are all those aimed at heroes? Like, what's the statistic here? Like that.
It said landed on enemy heroes. It did say that. So
but it didn't say
21.
aimed at enemy heroes. Like, does creeps count on that? If it hit a siege creep, did that lower the percentage?
I mean, he's been spamming them on neutral camps as well, just to be able to keep up in farm, and with pretty good effectiveness. I mean, he's nearly got the Spirit Vessel finished up, just 200 or so gold away. Going to be really effective against this lineup. Nice
Moonlight Shadow was pretty early. They've got the swap to get JT out, so this call down's not going to do anything. They jump right back in. They'll get the kill on a Mercy. They look over and hit this roll onto Red Panda. That's because he's morphed into the Earth Spirit. So that's a good little disengage, re-engage combo there from Xtreme Gaming. It looked pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you see Morphling able to just morph into someone with a movement spell, feels really nice, you know, just to be able to get, I don't know, a Faceless Void or a PA, or in this case, an Earth Spirit, who I was expecting to be a little bit more level than this, honestly. Mercy picks up the Wisdom Rune now, so he's got his level 6 available, but you see the main issue that we were talking about with the Earth Spirit before, right? Like, unless you actually land that that multiple rolling boulders, you can find yourself in a lot of a difficult position, just because, especially with only 2 points in the boulder, it's a 12-second cooldown. Like, once you're in, and it's not really at the point yet where that great strength scaling, 3.8 per level, has started to come into the equation just yet.
Definitely, in my eyes, is starting to make a case for this hero being much better as a core than a support with those levels and the aggression. If you're playing a lineup that wants to be doing things early, right? Like, you kind of want to be doing things to get that early. Like, there's no dual damage on Shanxi.
Yeah.
And Legion is one of those heroes that struggles.
Yeah. You need to scale off of that. I mean, at least he's got the Blade Mail now finished up, so maybe you could use that to be able to, like, turn Morphling's biggest strength against him. But again, just look at the timing that he's picked it up. He's 6 on net worth on the LC very comfortably, and Ghost, he's been completely free. But he's double the Legion Commander's net worth right now on the Morphling at 15 minutes. So it means he's already got the Lincoln Sphere. So what duel? What do I really care about?
Yeah, he's pretty safe and should be pretty here on out. I mean, there are things to break the Lincolns, but not
minimal. Dragon Tail, and that's about it.
And it ain't great. Not really
like
amazing.
That's a big reason. I mean, Earth Spirit, I think the play is going to be get vision, Earth Spirit rolls in, use Yule Scepter on the Lincolns to pop it, and then you blink duel him. It's a lot that needs to happen, but this is the situation that they've drafted themselves into.
Which is very, very unfortunate. Ghost isn't going to be touched down here. This is insane.
Yeah.
And they're looking to
lane
pile on mid.
Yeah, I mean, feels kind of obvious if they're going to go for a smoke here. Mercy just swaps it in, but feels like this one can be scouted out fairly effectively. The lanes are not in the greatest spot right now.
They have a ward behind the tier 1. Like, that's not secretive for them.
Nope. Ooh. Instantly gets pinged, and you just see like JinQ is able to just position himself on this top lane. He's using the nighttime just to be able to move around, dodge out any sort of vision that they might have. He might just look to yoink away the Watcher vision, but right now they're just looking to scout out any sort of smoke attempt, and doesn't look like anyone's going to be caught by it. Just farming in the safest possible positions on all 3 cores, and they know that the lanes are in horrible spots for them to make that sort of movement. So that honestly comes down to a bit of inexperience from Aster.Aries.
Yeah,
just catch JinQ, but again, like,
he's not easy to catch.
It'd be some dual damage at least, but again, like, you don't have the Blink Dagger, right?
He's got 3 leaps. If he sees them, and he should be able to get out.
He's on the low ground though, and they're on the high. But again, yep, leap away, get the hell out before the homing missile is able to connect onto you. So this is a game of cat and mouse, and well, it's pretty easy to be able to play that game when you've got vision to see that the cat's hunting.
Oh, he should. Yeah, there it is. Gotta get that run on.
Buster.
I'm running so far. I'm trying to get there. Dream Coil, that's gonna get snapped off the Icarus dive, and Red Panda gonna die here to DY. Dude just ran the entirety of the map.
That's one of mine.
I mean, truthfully, it's just FY's Bleak Hallucination on the Tusk, but that's a pretty common fist item, I believe. It's the Fist of the Ice Rack or something like that.
Yeah.
But overall, I think Buster's a pretty good one. Yeah, I think Buster's kind of up there for me. It's just so funny. Watching a rocket run at you might be one of the funniest things. It's like you literally have a flame on the back of your rocket But you're gonna run at me?
No love for Alpine Ursa?
No. I don't know. It's just, I don't like not the controversy, but I was just like, when I first started playing Dota, it was like, this is the craziest set ever. I'm like, he's just a cowboy. Arrow comes in, lands on a Mercy, and that'll be a kill onto the Earth Spirit. They're going to try and turn this one around to get a kill here on a DY, but he might just be the bait. XWY, Spirit Vessel on him, doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, and instead Xtreme Gaming will clear on out and disengage.
They had about 5 seconds left on the Dream Coil, otherwise I feel like they would have committed onto that. No Doom used. You've got level 13 on Doom himself as well. Is there anything... There's nothing really that you can purge off with this purge from JT other than the press the attack.
He just wants it so he could type thanks purge.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I got it.
What's your favorite variation of thanks purge? Gracias, Senor Purge?
Merci, Oku Purge. As I botched, as I botched that. By the way, 8 years of French under my belt, as I'm gonna really sound like an American speaking French.
Bonjour, guy.
Buongiorno. It's like oh, what's his face in Inglourious Bastards when he's like, I know Italian.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but Brad Pitt's character.
Yeah. Where he's like, oh, I know the most Italian. Just like, that's how I speak other languages.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be a pretty timely Roshan. Yep, 20 minutes in. Level 15 on the Morphling, and he's even going to have an extra safety net off the back of his Lincoln Spear, his Manta Style, and he's even working in towards the Skadi for himself. So they've already got a lot of stuff that's going to be able to prevent the healing and the regeneration coming through from the Vessel, from the Doom, but that's just going to be the cherry on top.
I'm waiting to see a game where the Gyro farms as well as he is now and has a team kind of behind him completely. Because this is the second
Gyro
back.
Hasn't exactly been meta for a while, right?
Yeah.
But have people just forgotten that Morphing was like the biggest Gyro counter out there?
Oh my god, they have a ward here too. Like they are just watching them farm all this, and
I mean, DY has always been phenomenal at warding back on Vici when he was playing DYW.
Trying to roll against them. Rolls into Xinkyu. Did he leap into that? Yeah, he might have. As he's got no leaps available, he might have just intercepted that roll, which is beyond sick. I love it.
Man brings a lot to these teams. I mean, it must be nice to be able to kind of have your pick of teams to be able to play from, right? After the old Chinese retirement, taking a bit of a break.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm unretiring. Who wants me? Everybody in the class raises their hand.
Honestly, there's so few people that could say that, but I mean, Xinkyu, FY is probably another one of those that, I mean, how has he still got it? I still think he's like a top 5 position 4 in the world, FY.
I would say his only low-end point, in my opinion, was when he was playing for Elephant. And that's it.
I think he was...
No, I don't think that was on him at all, but I think that was the lowest performance point in his career. And it was just, because you had a team of too many superstars.
Ulu, you can't be here. You're on division. You're in the creep wave. They have no way to
He thinks he's got Jinkyu. I mean, he does. But does he also have the out? No. Which means you're trading for a Mirana, which is never great.
Absolutely not. And I mean, all that is just going to be more space given over as the voice lines start to come through. Ghost is just going to extend his net worth even further ahead of you. Off
Doom used. That was onto the Legion Commander, but JT's got nobody else here. So very ambitious.
Again, it's just about slowing the game down, right? It's kind of a similar story to what we saw in game 2 of the previous series. This is a very similar draft that they're going for. And once again, there's just no dual damage because they have no way to convert onto it.
That's so crazy. No dual damage at this point.
Yeah. Let the Morphling get his farm. He's 100 gold away from being able to pick up that Skadi. You're just going to get another Midas usage out of JT.
God, 24-ish minute Lincoln's Manta Skadi.
Yeah. And more towers being pressured. And again, like if nothing is pushing the bottom and mid lanes, you know that there's a movement happening towards top, and yeah, no career as well with that BKB.
That is what feels the worst.
I mean, he's just hitting high ground, boys. You got to get back
XWI.
here. Is he going to dream call him?
Yeah,
He can't even get back.
He might, just be dead. Double Dream Coil. I don't think the Legion or the DK is going to be able to get back in time. And while that's all going on, they're fighting over mid. Mercy's got himself the magnetize out of these heroes. So they're going to try and fight this with the Spirit Vessel on a DY and the call down right on top of him. The roll comes in. They place the Lincolns onto DY, but it's not going to matter. They get the kill anyway. But you do lose that DK while all that's going on.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? You lose the DK. I think Puck has the Lincoln's finished up for herself as well. So XM, I mean, we were talking about how hard it was going to be able to replace Paparazzi, but he hasn't died a single time. And he has gone back ahead of the Dragon Knight in terms of his net worth in a matchup that heavily favors the DK. He's going to be able to pick up an Arcane Rune for himself, and he's looking to scale into that Aghanim Scepter for himself.
Ooh. It's always nice.
I don't really see it that often this early, though. Much more commonly see something like a Kaya Sanj, which, you know, I wouldn't hate to see that, honestly, going up against the duel, the stuns from the DK, if they even are able to get onto you, the magnetize as well, just reducing some of that duration. So maybe he's just having a little bit of fun with it. You know, it's first series, wants to keep the vibes positive.
Knows where he's at right now in terms of, like, probably the net worth lead. He hasn't died yet. Probably thinks he's not going to die at all. Which is when they get you.
That's true.
Or right after...
Right? You're so far ahead, and you're like, nothing can kill me. I'm unstoppable. And I'm like, guys, please. I feel like we've won these fights because we've been playing as 5. Don't solo dive their tier 3 towers. And then they're like, nah, we got this. And next minute, big comeback.
That's been the name of my pubs recently.
Mm-hmm.
That or my PA goes 0, 20, and 5, while their PA goes 20, 0, and 5.
Could be.
Been a lot of that. Potentially. I never rule it out. Dream Coil into the Sacred Arrow. So XWI has been caught, and with that Spirit Vessel, they've gotten themselves another kill here, and they will get the DK. And at the same time, they've got Ghost just soloing a Tormentor. So Shard for Xingqiu.
Yeah. Not that he needed anything extra to be able to play around with. Looks like they're pinging out, let's play around our vision, guys. The lanes are in a really good spot. It's going to be a while until Ghost is able to join in onto us. He's got the Mantas to be able to push down, but no DK feels pretty impactful as XM doing a pretty good job of just trying to catch them out.
He really doesn't want to stop fighting. It's just been going forward and forward. They throw that Doom onto the DK. They've got the call down to try and get some space, but I don't care about that damage anymore. Press the attack or press this death. Shanksy's going to be into the grave once again. And there are 2 heroes currently dead on the side of Aster.Aries while Mercy makes his way out.
It's so unfortunate that they lose a core for that, because it was the right sort of play by Aries. They needed to take back that tower. Unfortunately for them, though, oh, Ghost, nicely done. Gets rid of Buster. He's even got that DD rune to be able to really start pumping in this damage. I don't know if you can go for this.
Yeah, this is rough. They've got the swap to get Ghost out. XWI, that BKB duration is not going to last forever. Dream Coil on a 2. Arrow comes in, and I believe soaked up by XWI. When his BKB runs out, he'll be stunned, and was for a moment.
That's cheeky by JT. He's just using the Purge to be able to get rid of these fiery spirits to allow Ghost to keep attacking at full speed. Little careful when Buster lands onto him. Of course, that breaks the Lincolns. Will they be able to convert a kill onto this?
Should be. Mercy, Yules, Blink, Dragon Tail. He still has that Lincolns. They're going to get themselves dual damage at 27 minutes into the game. They get themselves Xingqiu, but they'll end up losing Mercy. Now, morphing into the Earth Spirit, the roll in with the BKB, not really deterring Xtreme a lot. They step back 5 paces, and then they say, hey, maybe we could go back in.
Yeah, but let's keep them alive. They didn't. I mean, the thing is, they didn't have the duel to be able to make plays with. Your Earth Spirit's dead. The only stun that they had to play with was on XWI with the Dragon Tail while it was in the Elder Dragon form, and he had it. So I'm a little surprised that he didn't just turn around, blink stun someone, keep them inside of that Supernova AoE, and make the most out of that first use of the BKB from the Gyrocopter. They even had pretty good vision dropped down by Mercy as well. So a little bit of a missed opportunity there, perhaps, for them to be able to make a play. But, I mean, the reality is they are still 20k behind. Oof. And maybe they just felt like they don't have the tools to be able to properly fight.
Yeah, now Ghost has his BKB. Mercy's going to pick up a Wisdom Rune. He desperately needs all the experience he can get sitting at the position 6 of this game. Compare that to really even just what DY has, 2 levels ahead. But then you look at somebody like Jinkyu, who's got more gold than their Legion commander.
Yeah, just Jinkyu things. Man's a beast.
To be fair, he got a shard, so they'd be about even.
True.
But still
not what you want to see.
Yeah. He's looking to pick up a Lotus now. So did XM decide to go? He did decide to go for that eggs. Making that commitment.
Go off, King. I mean, it's gotten to the situation where the LC needs to duel the Venge, honestly, just to be able to reduce that Vengeance aura, to be able to reduce the Wave of Terror aura, and of course, if it's not Venge, whoever gets dueled is just getting swapped, even if you are able to get through all of those Lincolns. But the positioning from DY has been really solid so far this game.
He's used that swap when they were initiated with the Blink Dragon Tail and call down onto the Morphling a couple times, and has kept both him and XM deathless. And Roche is up in another minute, so Xtreme having control of a big majority of the map. This is all but guaranteed this early on, unless Aster.Aries make a hell of a play going for this Roche.
A little bit fortunate for Aster.Aries here. So DY has picked up the gem. He moved around. He used his Wave of Terror to scout out a lot of that high ground vision, even just using the active for it as well. Passes it over to XM now. But they actually end up missing 2 of the lane wards.
Ghost by himself in the Moonlight Shadow. Everybody's coming over. Now they're going to have XM jump in. They've got the silence on a Red Panda. He goes into the Supernova right before he's dead. The Magnetite is going to be dropped down as well as the Duel. They get the kill on a DY with the BKB being popped here by Ghost, but the Supernova goes off. Ghost is in some trouble. They throw the Doom. It's onto this Gyrocopter, but Ghost, can he survive? Everybody around him, XM on the back lines looking for Mercy. They get the kill to the Ear Spirit. They're going to buy back on him immediately, and Uru finally falls as XWY still trying to output some of this damage with XM having a Spirit Vessel on him. The Illusory Orb hits onto the Phoenix while the roll comes in from Mercy on a Jinkyu. The Infernal Blade lands. Mercy's going to die again as he had just bought back, and they will look over now at XWY. Spirit Vessel placed on him by Jinkyu. XM back into the fight, and they will get another kill onto the DK. So the gem dropped from this Dragon Knight.
It doesn't feel great just to be able to lose even more resources. And yeah, they could go and take Roshan if they really wanted to, but looks like they want to potentially go for some sort of a push towards the top side, make them forced to defend, reveal a little bit more information. But you just saw the effectiveness there. It was actually a really nice quick fingers use of the flat cannon right before the duel, so you still were able to survive through a lot of that lockdown that they had, but he just doesn't have any of this... well, actually, I guess he's realizing that the Satanic isn't actually going to be that effective this game, right? If you're doomed, you're just not healing. So it's just about trying to survive through it and then hopefully get something else off the back of that. Cheese? Any cheese enjoys?
Ooh. What kind of cheese?
I'm a mozzarella. Like I'm pretty basic. What do you favor?
So I was introduced to it a couple years ago, but Oaxaca cheese is cheese. American cheese is by far
craft single.
Oaxaca cheese has been really that and halloumi. I love halloumi. That might be my favorite.
I love halloumi. We've got a huge Greek population here, so
it's so expensive here. It's like $13 a block, like those small blocks. So expensive.
You ever had fried halloumi?
Yes, I make fried halloumi when I buy it. I love it.
Good man.
Ooh, now I'm
my
hungry.
arteries don't thank me though.
No, my chest is already hurting.
Yeah.
But that's just, sorry, American. From me. Bottom tier 3?
He's playing whack-a-mole right now, trying to hit him with those fiery spirits to slow down the push, but you cannot.
Still hurting on a Purge.
Way too far ahead. Thanks, Purge.
Yeah, never giving it up. It's never going to give it up.
They're bought out here. I mean...
I'm going to say goodbye.
Yeah. Won't hurt you. But Gyrocopter, he's got the butterfly now, so maybe he thinks that he can survive through a lot of this damage that's coming through. But I mean, who do you get the jump onto? Using the Buster onto JT to potentially prevent the turnaround potential, you still just got to get onto DY, but his positioning is always just behind the rest of the boys.
Never has to move up. There's no reason to.
Nope.
Lincoln's Yep. Not going to be able to go in until the duel comes out. Ghost, there's the swap, there's the save. Rocket Barrage isn't going to do the damage. Now they're going to turn this around with the Dream Coil on all 5 heroes. So there's the Doom to follow it up. Red Panda, Shanxi, Uru all fall. They get the kill to DY, but that is nothing when you think about what they're given and what they're taking. And Mercy, XWY falls, Red Panda bought back, and it's a full team wipe for Xtreme. Well, the GG is called, and they take game 1.
They do indeed, and it really did feel like Aster.Aries, those first 3 picks were the same.